All right, now, nRated, thank you for coming here to talk to us a little bit more about those changes. Let me start off by asking you, on a personal level, how did the transition go for you, looking back on it? You know, you have to move out of that house and then go live with the EG guys.
Well, I basically packed all my stuff and went home first, at least for a week, and I just didn't want to miss out on any LCS weekend, so I basically just packed my stuff instantly and came again. And I had the possibility to stay at the EG house because I was already looking at their scrims and helping them a lot. So I was staying with them, and it was a really good time. So when that went well, I also got the possibility to go to Tenerife for them and help them there. And it was a really great shot, and Tenerife was awesome. So I took that great opportunity and I went there.
Awesome. Now, some teams have been saying we can really feel the difference when we're playing EG, that they have an analyst now, and maybe that your influence is really, they can really notice it. So what do you think you've remedied in those first couple of weeks here?
Well, first of all, it's really nice to hear that. And I also think that just from an objective point of view, you can see things that the team actually might not see while playing the game. So I just give them an in-game analysis, like straight up what went wrong, how they can fix it. And I think as soon as they start to adapt it, they will improve.
How easy or hard is it maybe for you to come into that group as someone from a team that they have rivaled so much before and be like, these are your mistakes and this is what you have to do?
I think as soon as I got kicked from Fnatic, I think I was free. Like they didn't really like put my name with Fnatic in one point anymore. So as soon as I'm a free agent and I'm able to help them, why wouldn't they just adapt to everything I say?
All right. Now, the time that it was announced that you were coming to the team, of course, they also had the announcement that they would be having a sub for the jungle in the form of Shacker. Were you in any way involved in the choice of having the jungle as a sub, and why was that decision made?
The decision was mainly because everyone in the team felt that the early game was the really major lacking point they had. They always managed to get some kind of disadvantage early, and I think the jungle has the greatest influence on the early game, and based by that, it was the obvious choice that the jungle would be the greatest impact if they put someone new in and maybe get a new point of view in there.
Obviously, the upsides are clear here of having that jungle and being able to decide, we're going to play this team, well, this is a better jungle side, but are there maybe not dangers involved with the fact that you have maybe someone who's disgruntled that he's not in the first lineup anymore, and possible dangers?
I think putting Shaka into the team was a great risk, first of all, because he had relatively low offline experience, especially like competitive gaming. It's a lot about nerves and the stress you have to handle, and that's a big point. But I think it was worth taking a risk and just trying to change it up a little bit and maybe get some fresh wind into it, fresh air. And they got also like a really huge early game lead like every time we played, and it was really great like having a new guy in the team. And still like Snoopy has so much advantage on Shaka when it comes to experience and to anything when it comes to offline handling nerves. I think that's a really big deal, and I think he has a really big edge on Shaka when it comes to that.
And of course, you, being a support yourself, and Crepo said in the video, and you as well, I believe it was, well, we're kind of at the same level. We know exactly, we could step in for each other, but it's not necessary since we have kind of the same champion pool. But is there not a part of you that thinks, I kind of want that spot because I miss having a live experience and being that player?
Of course. I mean, I didn't step back on my own. I didn't say I don't want to play anymore. I've always been a competitive player. I always try to compete on a high level. And yeah, when there comes the point where I have to step in, let's say Crepo breaks a hand or whatever, I will greatly do that and thankfully do that, and I'm really thankful for the opportunity to play with them.
Crepo also said in the video, it's cool to have someone who's completely unbiased and can just look at everything, but of course you have this Fnatic history. Is there somewhere a part of you sometimes when they're going to play Fnatic, you think, I know exactly how to get them, and does it feel good maybe?
Well, winning against them in Tenerife was one of the best feelings I've had so far. Like, it just gave me a huge backup everywhere. I think that was really great, and also like going against them, like there is a certain rivalry right now, obviously, but it will never be like I say we have to win that team because I'm there. It gives me a slight edge because I know how their mind works, and I was playing with them for so long, and I know how they handle situations and how their mindset is, and I think that gives me an edge, obviously, against them.
So maybe for the last couple of questions, talking about the standings in general, which you have a great view up now coming from two teams. What do you think about the situation? Do you think there are some teams that you think will just rise up again and go in that first position, or the teams that are in there now won't last? Or
it's up to any team. Like, a lot of teams have like a lot of potential. They might not make everything out of it, But I think there are a lot of teams that just have great players and individual play, and they just need to step up in terms of team play. They can do that by practicing and so on. I think the standings right now are so close that you barely can say like who makes it and who doesn't. And after that, there will also be the playoffs. So the standings in the league are actually to get the good spot in the playoffs. And after that, as soon as you're in the playoffs, you compete for the spots for World. And I think there it is when it all comes on one point and where everyone has to be on the line. And there we will see whose nerves actually make it and who don't.
Also, how surprised are you that a lot of teams are pulling out these crazy strats and crazy champions in week 7, nonetheless, of the LCS?
I think like picking up new champions can always work. You see how the meta changed. You see which champion rises, which champion falls. And if you see there's a Talon pick that is really good against the Kassadin because of the silence and the general nuke, why wouldn't you play it?
Finally, EG is up against SK Gaming here. What are your thoughts about going into this one? How strong is SK?
Well, I know that EG, if they play their game like they're supposed to play, they don't take too many unnecessary risks, and they play it the way they have to play, I think they have a good shot at winning this.
All right. Thank you very much, nRated.
Thank you.